guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some protein meals, and this one is a keto hamburger broccoli skillet meal, and it's got cheese in it and other various things as well, and then I'm going to add a few extra things, but we're going to be making that. Jay and I are trying to eat a little healthier this summer. And so I've been like experimenting with all this fun food. I've been making cottage cheese bowls all week. I haven't filmed any of that, but I may film one next week. They're really good and they're filling, and I feel better already after a week of dieting, or what I like to say, healthying. But if you haven't joined my channel, go ahead, because I'm going to have a lot more recipes. But today we're going to make this keto skillet hamburger broccoli dish, and it looks like it's going to be yummy, so we'll see together. Join me. Okay, so I have got about a tablespoon, maybe a little more, of EVOO extra virgin olive oil in the skillet, and the recipe calls for 80-20 ground beef, but I always buy this organic 93% lean and 7% fat. I rarely buy the 80. I always like to get this, and I like the grass-fed meat. So we're going to add it to the olive oil, and we're going to brown it up, and the recipe calls for a pound. So we're going to add this entire package and get it going. I have to cut it with a knife because the easy peel is not so easy to peel for me. Anyway, we're going to put this in there. We're going to brown it. You can add onions in with the meat. The recipe calls for onion powder. But I'm going to decide what I'm going to do, if I'm going to go quickie or if I'm going to chop the onions up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so Jay and I voted, and we decided we're going to add real onion. So I chopped up a whole real onion. We're going to add it to the meat, and we're going to let that cook down, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, we got the beef and the onions cooked down. Now we're going to add the broccoli, which I have cut up into bite-sized pieces. And before we stir that in, we're going to add some pepper. We're going to add some salt. We're going to add some garlic powder. And I'll post the recipe so you'll know exactly how much. I'm just, you know, I don't measure. And then we're going to add some red pepper flakes from our garden last year. Don't want to add too many because they're really potent. We're going to stir this up. We're going to let this broccoli cook down. Now, the recipe says to add the seasoning after the broccoli cooks down, but I wanted to go ahead and add it to get some flavor in there, and then we'll taste it, and if we need to add any extra, we can. So I'll see what that looks like. Now I've decided, it's not called for in the recipe, but I've decided I'm going to add some diced jalapenos. Now you can add fresh ones, or you can add the ones from the can. I have a jar. Any is fine. Just kind of something that hit me that said, do you want to put some of those in there? So that's what I'm adding while this broccoli is cooking down. Okay, I changed skillets because it was starting to stick to the bottom of that stainless steel skillet, and I don't like it when it sticks. But we've got our broccoli just about cooked down to where it's a little past al dente. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add half of our cheese, which the recipe calls for a cup. So we're going to add about a half cup. And we're also going to add our 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. And we're gonna stir that in. Yeah, and if you don't like cheese, you wouldn't have to add cheese. But it is part of the recipe. Or if you want to add a different type of cheese, you wouldn't have to add cheddar. Just want to get that all melted up good. Stirred in. And give it a little taste. I think it's got plenty of seasoning. Now what we're going to do is sprinkle the rest of the cheese on top. Just like that. And then we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it with a lid. And we're going to let it just kind of melt for a couple of minutes. And then it'll be ready to eat. Okay, let's see what it looks like. That looks good, y'all. That looks real good. Look at that. Yum, yum. And I'll let you know how it tastes. We'll get it plated and we'll be back with you. And there we go with it on a plate. We're going to eat a few tomatoes with it. And that's going to be our supper. Thanks for joining us. It was really good. It's delicious. I think my husband may go for seconds. You could use ground turkey or ground chicken with this recipe as well if you wanted to. Just whatever you're used to in your life. We don't really like ground turkey and ground chicken. We use it sometimes in some things. But if I use it, I usually don't tell my husband that I'm using it, but we pretty much cook together these days, so. But you could even mix it half turkey, ground turkey, and half ground beef. And you wouldn't have to use ground beef. You probably could use steak bites or chicken or whatever, but it was good. It was filling. I'm full, I'm stuffed. And that, what you saw on my plate was what I ate, the 4 little bitty tomato slices and that spoonful of broccoli and skillet, the skillet meal. So give us a big thumbs up. Join us for our next cooking. I think next we're probably going to do protein balls. We're going to make some healthy protein balls, and we've made these in the past right after I had surgery back in 2020. I was trying to eat high protein because I was losing a lot of hair and doing things. So we've made them before and they're good, but we're going to make them and film it and share it with y'all. It's a recipe that my niece gave me, but I'm sure you can find it on Pinterest and other places too, and you can change it up a little. But we'll be back at you with that. Have a good day.